As we covered at the top of last night's show, Harvard University is the first university in the United States to just flatly and publicly refuse to capitulate to the Trump administration's blitzkrieg against academia. Trump has been threatening to weaponize federal funding against any college or university that won't roll over and let him essentially take over the administration of the school and even its academic curriculum. He's thus far canceled or frozen funding to 6 of the 8 schools in the Ivy League and 1 school in the Big Ten. Columbia was the first school that Trump targeted. Columbia obviously made some concessions and therefore sort of set its fate in motion. But Harvard is just saying no. And that may totally change the dynamic here, not just in terms of whether Harvard actually manages to win their own fight against what Trump's trying to do, but also I think a lot of people are hoping that this might put steel in some other institutions' spines, that they ought to be fighting back too. Now, in terms of the colleges and universities, Trump may have been going after the Ivies first, but him doing that has afforded other colleges the chance to sort of get their act together, to figure out what they're going to do before he inevitably comes for them. And we're seeing the results of some of that right now, interestingly, in the Big Ten. It started at Rutgers in New Jersey in late March. The university's Senate passed a resolution to band together with the other members of the Big Ten against what Trump is doing. The resolution calls for establishing a mutual defense compact, which in part calls for participating institutions to make available at the rest of the institution under direct political infringement the services of their legal counsel, governance experts, and public affairs offices to coordinate a unified and vigorous response. Then we saw the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, their faculty senate, voting to adopt the same resolution. And then so did the faculty council at Indiana University at Bloomington. So that's 3 of the Big Ten schools, which, not to confuse things, but even though they're called the Big Ten, it currently consists of 18 schools. Joining them is UMass Amherst, which is not a Big Ten school, but they're applying that same concept to call for a public and land-grant university mutual academic defense compact. So we've got Harvard leading on their own after almost all the other Ivies were targeted, right? Now we've got the other institutions, the other higher education institutions in the country who know that Trump is coming for them, realizing that you can see it coming, and the way to do it is not to fight on your own, to be prepared and to get organized and to make sure you're not fighting alone.